Killing decision, multiple female leaders, invincible, hot blood, all heavens and all realms, I have a cauldron that can control the Milky Way. Rising from the end of the world, Nirvana in despair. The young man carries a peerless demon cauldron, refines the unparalleled holy body, cultivates the supreme Taoist method, controls the masses, slays immortals and Buddhas, slays gods and demons, and overlooks all domains. Chapter 1. Jiang Han. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Please forgive me, Elder San. Let my sister go. Outside an old courtyard in Jiangxia town, a young man in black is kneeling on the ground and constantly kowtowing to a middle-aged man, pleading and begging. The young man's name is Jiang Han, a member of the Jiang family. In the afternoon, as soon as he returned from hunting outside, he heard the bad news. The 3 elders of the clan forcibly took her sister Jiangli away. Just because a prominent figure in Yunmeng Pavilion, Han Shiqi, fell in love with Jiangli and wanted to take her as a concubine, he would marry her half a month later. This news was like a bolt from the blue, and upon hearing it, Jiang Han almost fainted on the spot. 6 years ago, Jiang Han's parents mysteriously disappeared, leaving him and his sister Jiangli to rely on each other. In his world, Jiangli is everything. Now the 3 elders are going to forcibly marry Jiangli out and make a concubine for an old man who is over 50 years old. How could he possibly agree? The most infuriating thing is that Jiangli is only 11 years old this year and is still a half-year-old child. Brother. The door of the inner room was opened, and a beautiful little loli rushed out crying and shouting. After only a few steps, a middle-aged woman ran out of the room and rudely dragged little loli back into the room. Then came the crisp sound of slaps and little loli's crying. Jiangli. Seeing this scene, Jiang Han's eyes were about to crack, and he stood up to rush in. But with a cold glance from the 3 elders in front of him, he suppressed his anger and stood back in place. Jiang Han. The 3 elders are around 40 years old, dressed in brocade, with a burly figure and a centipede-like scar on their left face, looking terrifying. He looked at Jiang Han and said indifferently, "Have you had enough trouble? Jiang Li's matter is a decision of the family elders' hall and cannot be changed. If you continue to stir up trouble, no wonder the clan law is ruthless." Elders' Hall. Upon hearing the words of the 3 elders, Jiang Han tightly pursed his mouth and almost gritted his teeth. Is this deceiving him of his youth and ignorance? The head of the Jiang family has been in seclusion for half a year, and the elder is said to be bedridden for more than a month. It is said that he cannot last long. The 2nd elder is far away in Yunmeng City, and there are only 3 elders left in the elder hall. The resolution of the Presbyterian Church. This is clearly the idea of the 3 elders alone. Looking at the cold face of the 3rd elder, Jiang Han gritted his head and said, "3rd elder, my sister is still so young, so please spare her. I know you have a holiday with my father, so if there's anything you want, just come to me and let go of Jiangli." Jiang Han is actually not very clear about the grudges between the 3 elders and his father back then. He only knew that his father was a rare genius warrior in the Jiang family in 100 years. At the age of 30, he reached the 4 levels of the Xianyu realm, and his combat power was only inferior to that of the elders of the clan, surpassing his peers. It seems that the clan leader promoted his father to be the captain of the hunting team, and many of his peers in the clan were not convinced, so there were several conflicts. The scar on the face of the 3rd elder, which had accompanied him for over a decade, is said to have been left by his father. Bold. The 3 elders trembled with scars on their faces and were furious. They raised their hands and slapped Jiang Han's face heavily. Jiang Han instinctively raised his arm to block, but the 3rd elder's speed was too fast. He was slapped hard and his body flew backwards, landing heavily on the ground 2 feet away. Wow! Jiang Han struggled to get up, feeling dizzy and ready to crack. His internal organs were in agony, and he opened his mouth to spit out a mouthful of fresh blood. You dare to say any damn thing. The third elder looked coldly at Jiang Han and shouted sternly, this matter has become a foregone conclusion, and no one can change it. Lord Han will come to Jiangxia town in half a month, so you'd better be honest with me during this period. If you dare to act recklessly, I will personally kill you. Also, Jiang Lixing is Han's person, and death is Han's ghost. Even if he dies, the body must be sent to Yunmeng City. Jiang Long. The three elders turned their heads and let out a low shout. Not far away, a young man as thin as a bamboo pole strode towards them. He casually glanced at Jiang Han, his eyes full of ridicule, and the corner of his mouth slightly curled up, saying, "Third uncle, what do you have to say? Starting from today, you will lead people to guard here day and night." The third elder raised his hand and said, Jiang Li is not allowed to step out of the yard for half a month. If Jiang Han dares to act recklessly, you will handle it according to the clan rules. Yes, third uncle. Jiang Long is the nephew of the three elders, so the three elders naturally have 100 reassurances. He gave Jiang Han a cold glance again and turned around to leave with big strides. Looking at the distant figure of the three elders, Jiang Han's heart sank to the bottom of the valley, and his face was filled with despair. Although both belong to the Jiang family, the Jiang Han lineage has been passed down for 3 generations. After their parents went missing, the siblings were left homeless in Jiangxia town. He has no access to the resources of the Jiang family for cultivation, his skills are low, and he has no status in the clan. Although the Jiang family has many experts, the three elders are very domineering and powerful in the clan, and no one dares to stand up for him. Purple Mansion Realm, Xianyu Realm, Mountain and Sea Realm. Each realm is further divided into 9 levels. Jiang Han only has 5 levels of the Purple Mansion Realm. Not to mention the 3 elders of the Xianyu Realm, let's say that the Jiang dragons in front of him are all 9 levels of the Purple Mansion Realm. There is a 4-fold difference between the two, and he is far from being a match for Jiang Long. If he forcefully rushes in and takes Jiang Li away, there will be only one outcome. He will be killed alive by Jiang Long. Jiang Shaotian, you must seek revenge for your own interests and die hard. Jiang Han gritted his teeth, feeling hatred in his heart. The third elder Jiang Shaotian has a personal grudge against his father, and this time it is clearly malicious revenge. Jiang Li has never left Jiangxia town since childhood. How could Han Shiqi possibly know about her in Yunmeng City? It must be that Jiang Shaotian deliberately gave Jiang Li to Han Shiqi as his concubine. In this way, he can both avenge the past and curry favor with the big shots in Yunmeng Pavilion, with a good plan. Go back first. Standing in a daze for a while, Jiang Han forced himself to calm down and walked slowly towards his own courtyard, enduring the pain. At this moment, many Jiang clan members who passed by mostly responded with sympathetic glances. But no one came to talk to him. In the old hall of Jiang's parents, it's heaven, and no one dares to disobey. Feeling lost, Jiang Han returned to his small courtyard and sat on a chair like a sculpture. After sitting for an hour, even though he racked his brains, he didn't come up with any good escape strategies. To escape with Jiang Li, his comprehensive combat power must reach at least 9 levels in the Purple Mansion realm, otherwise Jiang Long cannot pass that level. He practiced for 6 years before reaching the 5th level of the Purple Mansion realm. How could he possibly elevate to the 9th level of the Purple Mansion realm in half a month? Stay here, only to watch helplessly as Jiang Li is sent to Yunmeng Pavilion, where he is molested and humiliated by an old pervert, making life more difficult than death. Is there no way left? Jiang Han murmured in despair, his hand involuntarily gripping a cauldron-shaped jade pendant on his chest, which was the only object left to him by his mother. He looked out the window and murmured in confusion, "Dad, Mom, where have you been? Are you dead or alive? What should I do? What should I do?" Pop. Perhaps due to emotional excitement and excessive force, the tripod-shaped jade pendant was crushed by Jiang Hansheng. Suddenly, the tripod-shaped jade pendant burst out with a dazzling light, instantly illuminating the entire room. Ha! This! Jiang Han was startled and looked down, his eyes somewhat bewildered. Although he crushed the tripod-shaped jade pendant, there was no residue left. His hand was empty, and the tripod-shaped jade pendant mysteriously disappeared. Chapter 2. Bloodline Divine Power. You are listening at novelfull.audio. No. After a moment, Jiang Han's body shook violently, and a ghostly expression appeared on his face. Because he suddenly had a bronze tripod in his mind, which was the same shape as the lost tripod-shaped jade pendant, with 3 feet and 2 ears. In my mind, the bronze cauldron emitted an ancient and majestic aura, as if it had gone through endless years. Jiang Han could even clearly see more than 20 lifelike demon beasts carved on the side walls of the bronze cauldron. Those demon beasts are like living creatures, with their canthus teeth glaring angrily, as if they are about to devour people. The Heavenly Beast Cauldron. On the outer wall of the bronze cauldron are engraved 3 large characters of dragons flying and phoenixes dancing, with graceful fonts that look like startled dragons. With the appearance of the bronze cauldron, Jiang Han inexplicably had a piece of information in his mind. To kill the demon beast on the Heavenly Beast Cauldron and refine its 10 drops of essence and blood, which can awaken the bloodline and divine power of the demon beast. This is an exotic treasure. Jiang Han's breathing became rapid, and he saw many monsters. The Tianhu Mountains to the north of Jiangjia town were filled with wild beasts and monsters. Known as a demon beast, it represents possessing bloodline divine powers. For example, some demon beasts can poison, some can discharge electricity, some can spew fire, and some can spray water. Even the powerful monster exhaled a breath, and even the 3 elders, a powerful figure in the mysterious and secluded realm, could be instantly annihilated. Of course, it is not only monsters that possess the bloodline divine power, but almost everyone in the Kyushu continent can awaken the bloodline divine power, which is the main means for all warriors to confront enemies. Many warriors can awaken multiple bloodline divine powers as their realm improves. It is said that the chieftain of the Jiang family possesses a bloodline divine power of burning oneself in flames, while the elder possesses a bloodline divine power of thorns and thorns. However, Jiang Han has never heard of anyone in the Purple Mansion realm who can awaken divine powers, and the lowest level of awakening divine powers is to reach the Xianyu realm. Now that he has obtained the Heavenly Beast Cauldron, how can he directly awaken the bloodline divine power of the demon beast? The most important thing is that there are 20.7 demon beasts on the Heavenly Beast Cauldron. Does he have a chance to possess 20.7 bloodline divine powers? Is this a bit too extreme? Silver-horned rhinoceros, phantom mouse, earth dragon beast. Jiang Han carefully identified it and found that he knew 3 out of the 20.7 monster beasts inside. There are many Tianhu mountains near these 3 types of monster beasts, all of which are first-order monster beasts. He didn't have the chance to know even stronger monster beasts, because if he encounters them, he will definitely die. Go up the mountain tomorrow morning and see if it's true. Jiang Han suppressed the urge to go out immediately, as the sky was about to darken. With his strength, entering the mountain late at night was prone to accidents. This night, Jiang Han tossed and turned, almost unable to sleep. One is to worry about Jiangli, the other is to think about the matter of the Heavenly Beast Ding, and the third is to analyze the current situation and determine how to proceed on the road ahead. The next day, Jiang Han got up before dawn, cooked some cold rice to fill his stomach, and then hurriedly left with all his family savings. He first bought 11 tianxiang fruits and a herbal medicine from a shop in the town, and then left Jiangjia town without looking back, heading towards the Tianhu Mountains to the north. Big Brother. Not long after Jiang Han left the town, a short and strong boy came to the courtyard where Jiang Li was being detained. He leaned over to Jiang Long and said, "I just saw Jiang Han leave the town and go to the Tianhu Mountains." He also bought 11 tianxiang fruits from the store's uncle. The short and sturdy boy's name is Jiang Han, and he is Jiang Long's younger brother. The two brothers, one tall and thin, and the other short and strong, looked completely different from their own brothers. Many people in the town also spread rumors that their mothers looked enchanting when they were young, like a red apricot. Upon hearing Jiang Hu's words, Jiang Long frowned and exclaimed in disbelief, "What did Jiang Han do in the Tianhu Mountains?" Tianxiang fruit. He wanted to lure and kill the silver-horned rhinoceros. Tianxiangguo is very expensive, 1 xianqi. After Jiang Han's parents went missing, his family was not in a good situation. The 11 xianqi are probably all of Jiang Han's belongings. Tianxiang fruit is very delicious, but it is not very helpful for cultivation. Its biggest function is to lure silver-horned rhinoceros. The silver-horned rhinoceros is a first-order monster with the bloodline divine power of berserk power. After releasing the divine power, its strength increases 5 times and it can crush a big tree hugged by 3 people, making it exceptionally ferocious. However, the silver-horned rhinoceros has a fatal weakness. It loves to eat tianxiang fruit very much, and as long as it is coated with hallucinogenic drugs, it can be easily lured and killed. The material on the body of the silver-horned rhinoceros is not worth any money, and it is equivalent to the value of tianxiang fruit when converted. So the nearby warriors rarely hunt the silver-horned rhinoceros, and it's hard not to mention that if they're not careful, they can easily get injured. Jiang Han left Jiangjia town early in the morning and spent all his savings to buy 11 tianxiang fruits. This behavior is very strange, which makes Jiang Long have to be suspicious. This way. Jiang Long thought for a moment, feeling uneasy. He said to Jiang Hu, "Take Jiang Bao with you and take a look. If Jiang Han has any abnormalities, capture him directly and bring him back. Don't miss out on Uncle San's big deal. If you can win the favor of Lord Han this time, maybe you can recruit me to the Cloud Dream Pavilion. You will enjoy endless glory and wealth in the future, and you can all benefit from it. Why bring it back?" Jiang Hu touched the flesh on his face and a fierce light shone in his eyes as he said, "The Tianhu Mountains are so far away, otherwise. Just kill him. Big brother, forget how his father suppressed our lineage back then. It's not his father, and grandpa wouldn't risk entering the mountain to be killed by the monster. If we kill it in the wild and feed it directly to the monster, who can prove that we did it? Besides, the elder is about to die, and no one else will meddle in this matter." Jiang Long's eyes flickered, and after a moment of contemplation, he didn't object. He just warned, "Be careful not to hit geese all day and get pecked in the eye by them." Just him. Jiang Hu looked disdainful and said, "Both Jiang Bao and I are in the 6th level of the Purple Mansion realm. He is a useless person in the 5th level of the Purple Mansion realm. Either of us can crush him. Don't worry, big brother. Today next year is his anniversary." Jiang Hu hurriedly left with his sword in hand, but Jiang Long didn't take it too seriously. In this world, monsters are everywhere, and many people in Jiangjia town are killed by them every year. Anyway, the only elder in the family who cares about Jiang Han is about to die, and no one will investigate this matter. At this moment, Jiang Han has entered the Tianhu Mountains, and Jiang Long is not mistaken. He did come to lure and kill the silver-horned rhinoceros. He spent all his savings at home just for the last ditch. He bet that the heavenly beast cauldron is a rare treasure that can give him the bloodline divine power of a demon beast. As long as he can obtain the bloodline divine power, his combat power will soar rapidly. He must increase his combat power to a level 9 warrior comparable to the Purple Mansion within half a month, in order to have the opportunity to escape from Jiangjia town with Jiang Li. Jiangjia town can't stay any longer. If they don't leave, their siblings will definitely be killed by the 3rd elder. The Tianhu Mountains are vast and boundless, known as the 500 peaks and 300 valleys. Legend has it that the deepest dwelling place is a Tianhu, capable of transforming into a human and possessing immense magical power. Jiang Han only dares to operate on 7 or 8 peaks at the outermost edge of the Tianhu mountain range. He only has 5 levels of the Purple Mansion realm, and when encountering powerful first-order monsters, he can only choose to escape. Only 8 or 9 level warriors in the Purple Mansion realm can kill powerful first-order monsters. Jiang Han cautiously arrived at Blackhead Peak, where he remembered the presence of silver-horned rhinoceroses. He took out a wooden box from his pocket, took out tianxiang fruit, carefully applied some green juice on the fruit, and then placed the fruit in the selected place, quickly climbing up a nearby tree. Lu. Just after a burning incense stick, a huge rhinoceros rushed towards it. This rhinoceros has 3 silver horns on its head and is huge in size, strong like an elephant. Silver-horned rhinoceros headed straight for tianxiang fruit, swallowed it in one gulp, and continued to arch around nearby, seemingly searching for the remaining tianxiang fruit. Boom! The overpowering medicine applied on tianxiang fruit has a strong effect, and after half a stick of incense, the silver-horned rhinoceros falls to the ground with a loud bang. Jiang Han's eyes lit up on the tree, and he searched around for a while to make sure there were no other monsters nearby, so he jumped down from the tree. He raised his sword and slashed at the neck of the silver-horned rhinoceros, killing it alive. Then, he quickly dug out the demon pill of the silver-horned rhinoceros and cut it open with a knife. Inside, there was a drop of dark golden blood, which was the essence of the silver-horned rhinoceros. Jiang Han utilizes the mysterious power in his body to quickly refine the essence and blood of the silver-horned rhinoceros. Effective. Jiang Han's heart trembled as he noticed that the silver-horned rhinoceros pattern on the heavenly beast cauldron was noticeably darker in color, as if he was about to come back to life. Okay. Jiang Han was extremely excited in his heart and clenched his fist tightly. Blackhead Peak also has many silver-horned rhinoceroses. If he is lucky, he can successfully kill 10 silver-horned rhinoceroses in at most half a day, and then he can obtain the bloodline divine power of the silver-horned rhinoceros, rampage power. We must hurry up. Jiang Han quickly left, the bloody smell would attract monsters to come, and he didn't have time to entangle with other monsters. Half a day later. After Jiang Han killed a silver-horned rhinoceros and took out the inner pill, his mood was extremely excited. 9 drops of silver-horned rhinoceros essence blood were refined earlier, and the pattern of silver-horned rhinoceros on the heavenly beast cauldron changed every time, becoming even more vivid. Now, we can finally refine the last drop of essence blood. Refining. Without any hesitation, Jiang Han chose to directly refine his essence and blood. After a few breaths, the heavenly beast cauldron in his mind suddenly shook, emitting a dazzling golden light. What's even more surprising is that the pattern of the silver-horned rhinoceros on the heavenly beast cauldron flew out of the wall of the cauldron, quickly solidified into a solid, and then turned into a green smoke that melted into Jiang Han's mind. At the same time, strange energies surged out of the heavenly beast cauldron, quickly sweeping across Jiang Han's entire body. Jiang Han stood still with his eyes closed, feeling the subtle changes in his body's flesh, bones, and meridians. Sha. After a moment, there was a faint sound of footsteps in the silent forest, and 2 figures walked out of the bushes. The person at the front is short and strong, with a face full of flesh. Who is not Jiang Hu? Chapter 3. The Cost of Blood. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Hu glanced at the silver-horned rhinoceros on the ground with a surprised expression on his face. Jiang Han is indeed luring and killing the silver-horned rhinoceros, as if he is also taking away its original essence and blood for refining. Although I don't know what the purpose of Jiang Han's move is, his behavior is too mysterious and unpredictable, and Jiang Hu's heart has already taken a killing intent. Jiang Hu slowly drew out his long sword, his face trembling as he slowly approached Jiang Han and shouted coldly, "Jiang Han, you're actually practicing magic here. Follow me back to Jiangjia town immediately to undergo examination by the Elders' Hall, otherwise no wonder I don't care about my kinship." Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao actually entered the Tianhu Mountains a long time ago. The reason why they only found Jiang Han now is that they searched for the first 4 peaks and also wasted a lot of time on Haida Peak. In order to save time, Jiang Han lured and killed the silver-horned rhinoceros without processing its body, and the bloody smell attracted many monsters to come. During the search, Jiang Hu and his companions encountered several monsters, causing them to be in a state of embarrassment. Jiang Hu also suffered minor injuries as a result. Upon seeing Jiang Han, Jiang Hu initially held back his anger, but discovered that he was actually refining the essence and blood of the silver-horned rhinoceros, which made him inexplicably uneasy. Jiang Han's father was a once-century genius of the Jiang family back then. Did he leave behind a few strange and powerful skills for Jiang Han? Han Shiqi will be coming to marry Jiang Li in half a month. This matter is very important for the 3 elders and their family, and there should be no slight difference. Jiang Hu walked step by step towards Jiang Han with his sword in hand. Jiang Han stood motionless with his eyes closed, his muscles slowly wriggling, his face becoming increasingly rosy, and an inexplicable breath flowing through his body. Go to hell. Jiang Hu's eyes flickered with a cold light, his speed skyrocketed, and his long sword turned into a rainbow light, piercing straight towards Jiang Han's chest. At this moment, Jiang Han's eyes suddenly opened, shining with a silver radiance. In his hand, a long sword suddenly struck Jiang Hu's head. Jiang Han suddenly launched a move with astonishing strength, as if carrying a faint aura of wind and thunder. Jiang Hu's move is not yet mature. With his legs bent and his long sword turning from a thorn to an upward thrust, he chooses to confront Jiang Han's long sword head-on. He is the 6th level martial artist of the Purple Mansion, while Jiang Han is only the 5th level martial artist of the Purple Mansion. Moreover, due to his martial arts skills, his strength is even stronger than that of a normal 6th level martial artist of the Purple Mansion. With this hard fight, he was confident that he could easily swing Jiang Han's long sword open, and when Jiang Han's middle gate opened wide, he could stab Jiang Han to death with just one sword. It has to be said that Jiang Hu's practical experience is still good, and his coping style is flawless. However, at the moment of the collision between the sword and the sword, a raging force came, and Jiang Hu's tiger mouth was instantly shattered. The violent force transmitted from the body flew out directly, and the feeling was like being hit head-on by a running giant monster boom. Jiang Hu collided heavily with a huge rock 2 zhang away, and his head happened to hit a protruding stalagmite, instantly bleeding profusely. Tiger brother. Jiang Bao, who watched the battle leisurely on the side, was dumbfounded. He looked at Jiang Hu, who was howling on the ground, and then at Jiang Han, who was fierce and imposing. He rubbed his eyes, thinking he had hallucinations. He was very clear about Jiang Hu's combat power. He also believed that Jiang Bao, who was the 6th level of the Purple Mansion, was not his opponent. Now Jiang Hu has been knocked away by Jiang Han's 5-fold move in the Purple Mansion realm. Although Jiang Hu was slightly injured before, it's not like this. Ha! Jiang Bao was confused, and Jiang Han was also confused. He looked at Jiang Hu on the ground, who was bleeding uncontrollably and howling in agony. He couldn't believe it and looked at the sword in his hand. So strong. My strength has increased at least 5 times, probably even a little stronger than the 9 heavens of the Purple Mansion. Jiang Han secretly calculated for a while, and his heart was filled with excitement. The heavenly beast cauldron is indeed a rare treasure. He has refined 10 drops of the silver-horned rhinoceros origin essence blood and indeed obtained the silver-horned rhinoceros's innate power of rampage power. After unleashing this divine power, he felt like his whole body was filled with explosive power, and now he has confidence to cut through the big tree that the 3 of them were embracing with one blow. Push and push. The sound of hurried footsteps awakened Jiang Han from his contemplation. He looked up and found that Jiang Bao was already charging forward with his sword. Seeing Jiang Hu so miserable, Jiang Bao's sharp-tongued monkey-faced expression was fierce. He stared at Jiang Han fiercely and roared, "Jiang Han, how dare you, such a scumbag, harm brother Hu. I want your dog's life." Watching Jiang Leopard unleash his ferocity, Jiang Han also unleashed an endless killing intent. The three elders and their lineage are simply deceiving others too much. They forcibly gave his sister to Han Shichi as a concubine and even wanted his life. "Die for me." Jiang Han struck with anger, his long sword in his hand resembling a white training horse. Jiang Bao originally intended to use his mystical skills, but Jiang Han's attack was fast and urgent. His mystical power was running wildly inside him, and he could only fight head-on. Bang! In this match, Jiang Leopard couldn't bear such fierce force. His long sword was instantly chopped off, and with its remaining force surging like waves, it struck Jiang Leopard heavily. Ah! Ah! Jiang Leopard fell to the ground, only to see a huge groove cut out in his chest and abdomen, his ribs evenly cut, and even his fragmented internal organs faintly visible. He fell to the ground, convulsing and howling twice, gradually losing his breath. Jiang Leopard! Jiang Leopard! Jiang Hu struggled to get up and shook the body of Jiang Bao twice. He suddenly turned his head to look at Jiang Han and roared, "Jiang Han, you dog, how dare you kill Jiang Bao? You are so bold, you are insane. You will definitely die. No one can save you. Is that right?" Jiang Han walked up slowly, his face cold and stern, and said, "Dare to be brave. If you want to kill me, will it be difficult for me to do so? I can only lead my neck to death. Crazy. You kill me for justice, I kill you for heinous acts. No one can save me. Who would come to save me? Shoo." Before Jiang Han could finish speaking, he quickly rushed to Jiang Hu's side and with a long sword, he swept across his neck. Killing one is killing, killing two is also killing. Since killing has been initiated, there is no way back, and Jiang Han has no more worries in his heart. Feeling the chilling killing intent emanating from the war knife, Jiang Hu was so frightened that his soul was shattered. He instinctively rolled on the ground, wanting to dodge Jiang Han's blow. It's just that he has injuries on his body, and his reaction time is still half a beat slower. The tip of the long knife ran over his neck, and a great human head flew up. Blood gushed out from the headless corpse like a fountain, staining a large area of the ground red. Dida, Dida. The blood from the blade converged and dripped onto the withered leaves, making a chilling sound. Jiang Han's face turned pale, and he silently looked towards Jiangjia town with no emotion in his eyes. He murmured, "Jiang Shaotian, you forced me to do all this. If you want to take away the most important thing in my life, you must pay the price of bleeding. Jiang Li, wait for me." Jiang Han pursed his lips and murmured again, "When brother awakens 3 bloodline powers, he will return to Jiangjia town to take you away. Whoever dares to stop me then, I will kill him." Chapter 4. Inducing and Killing the Phantom Mouse. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The sky is getting late, the night is slightly cool, and the lanterns in Jiangjia town are just starting to shine. Jiang Long, sitting under a big tree outside the small courtyard, inexplicably felt uneasy. Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao didn't come back all day, and Jiang Han didn't either, which made him feel something was wrong. The 3 elders asked him to guard this small courtyard, but he dared not leave his duty without permission and could only wait anxiously. Half an hour later, a tall and burly young man walked over quickly. Jiang Long quickly welcomed him and asked, "Jiang Xiong, has Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao returned?" The tall and burly young man is called Jiang Xiong, who is Jiang Long's cousin. Recently, he has just broken through to the 7th level of the Purple Mansion. He shook his head and said, "No, I went to check again just now, but neither of them came back. I even went to Jiang Han's house for a walk, but I didn't see anyone. There won't be any trouble, will there?" Jiang Long frowned slightly and said with some concern. What can happen? Jiang Xiong shook his head and said, Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao are all 6 levels of the Purple Mansion, and Jiang Han is 5 levels of the Purple Mansion. Don't think too much about it, Brother Long. I reckon these 2 people must have sneaked off to the gambling house in Dujia town to play. They should be back tomorrow morning. Jiang Long thought for a moment and it made sense. Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao have always been good gamblers, and it's normal for them to sneak to Dujia town to play with this matter. He waved his hand and said, all right, you can go back first. If they haven't come back yet tomorrow morning, you can take Jiang Scorpion and them to find them. Jiang Xiong should leave, and after inspecting the surroundings, Jiang Long returned to his room and fell asleep. Jiang Long didn't sleep soundly at night, but Jiang Han hardly fell asleep that night. After digging a pit and burying Jiang Hu and his companions hastily, Jiang Han did not return to Jiangjia town. Instead, he casually found a dilapidated temple at the foot of the mountain to spend the night. After eating dry food and practicing Xuanli for a while, he lay on a broken wooden board ready to sleep. The first time he killed someone, he even killed 2 people in a row. Awakening a powerful bloodline divine power made him extremely excited, and at the same time, he was worried about the reaction in Jiangjia town, his sister Jiangli, and how to hunt the phantom mouse next. Various chaotic thoughts filled his mind, making him restless and unable to sleep until he fell asleep in the latter half of the night. As soon as it was dawn, Jiang Han woke up. Last night, after thinking for a long time, he didn't have a very good way to hunt down the phantom mouse. The phantom mouse is also a first-order monster, with low value and not very strong combat power. However, from the name of this monster, it can be seen that its speed is very abnormal. Jiang Han had seen the phantom mouse several times before, but the monster almost disappeared in a flash. He didn't even have time to react and the phantom mouse disappeared. For so many years, he has not heard of an effective method for hunting and killing the phantom mouse. This first-order monster has a high level of alertness, and once someone appears near them, they will immediately flee. With Jiang Han's current combat power and the use of his berserk powers, it is easy to kill the phantom mouse. The problem is that the phantom mouse won't give him a chance to attack at all. If he encounters him, he will immediately run away and won't be able to catch up. Let's go buy a black iron beast cage first. Jiang Han pondered for a while, only to come up with one solution, which was to use animal cages to lure and capture. If it could lure the phantom mouse into the animal cage, hunting would be much simpler. After replenishing his energy, Jiang Han didn't dare to return to Jiangjia town. Instead, he hurried for half an hour and went to Dujia town in the west. After arriving in Dujia town, he spent some silver money to buy a black iron beast cage and some dry food, and then hurriedly went into the mountains to Wuguay Ridge near Dujia town. This time, he is very lucky. Early this morning, Jiang Long saw that Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao had not returned, so he asked Jiang Xiong and his 3 cousins to go out of town to search. Jiang Xiong and his companions entered the mountain from this side of Jiangjia town. If Jiang Han also walked from this side, there is a high possibility of encountering them. After entering the Turtle Ridge, Jiang Han searched around carefully for a long time and did not find the phantom mouse. He immediately decided to continue his search at the nearby mountain peak. The second peak also did not find the phantom mouse. Half an hour later, Jiang Han finally discovered the phantom mouse on the 3rd mountain peak. Whoosh! Unfortunately, as soon as Jiang Han discovered a phantom mouse, the little thing turned into a remnant and disappeared. He quickly tracked it down and searched nearby, but found nothing. The phantom mouse is not small in size, with a body of about a foot, white fur all over its body, and a hooked tail. Their speed can at least rival that of the martial artists in the Purple Mansion realm, making it difficult for Jiang Han to search. Continuing his search for half an hour, Jiang Han discovered several phantom mice on this mountain peak, but every time he saw them, the phantom mice flashed away and had no chance to hunt them. After running around for half a day, he was hungry and tired. After eating some dry food, he climbed up a big tree and rested with his eyes closed. In no time, he fell asleep quickly. He was awakened by a faint sound from his sleep and immediately opened his eyes to explore. Quickly, he saw a phantom mouse appearing in a nearby shrub, which was nibbling on the roots of a plant and making a slight noise. Jiang Han did not boldly attack the phantom mouse, but patiently observed it. After a moment, his heart was filled with joy. He made an amazing discovery. The phantom mouse seemed to only feed on the roots of a brown plant and had no interest in other plants and wild fruits. Okay. Jiang Han was greatly excited and quickly jumped down from the tree. The nearby phantom mouse sensed danger, and with a flash of his body, he disappeared into place in an instant. Jiang Han walked over to pull out the brown plant, cut off its roots, and quickly searched around for this brown plant. After a stick of incense, he collected the roots of several brown plants, put these roots into the black iron beast cage, threw them into the bushes, and then climbed onto the tree to wait quietly. This wait is half an hour. Finally, a white shadow flashed past and rushed directly into the dark iron beast cage. As soon as Buying entered, she triggered the mechanism of the black iron beast cage, and the iron door of the cage slammed shut. I saw a phantom mouse rushing around in the cage, with its remnants scattered throughout the cage, as if there were more than a dozen phantom mice inside. Got it. Jiang Han jumped down from the tree and looked at the phantom mouse in the cage, overjoyed. Death. Jiang Han poked his long sword through the gap in the animal cage and slashed at the phantom mouse inside. After confirming that the phantom mouse was dead, he opened the cage and took its essence and blood. Refining. After refining the essence and blood of the phantom mouse, Jiang Han immediately visualized the heavenly beast cauldron and confirmed that the pattern of the phantom mouse on the heavenly beast cauldron was bright and clear. Only then did he happily start cleaning up. Carrying the animal cage, he went to a nearby stream and cleaned the blood on the cage. Jiang Han followed suit and continued to set traps, waiting for the next phantom mouse to fall into the trap. After more than 2 hours, the sky gradually darkened. Jiang Han put away the black iron beast cage and walked contentedly down the mountain. He lured and killed 4 phantom rats in one afternoon, and now he has mastered the trick. Tomorrow, if we successfully hunt 6 more, we will be able to awaken another bloodline divine power. Chapter 5. Shape and Shadow Shifting. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the morning, Jiangzhou town. A middle-aged woman carried 2 mantu into the yard where Jiang Lei was being held. She opened the door and entered the house. She looked around and found the river carp squatting in the corner, disheveled. Jiang Lei curled up in the corner, holding her knees with both hands and burying her head, her body twitching slightly. It looks like a quail shivering in the cold winter, extremely pitiful. The middle-aged woman didn't show any mercy when she saw Jiang Lei. Instead, she walked over with an angry expression and stood in front of Jiang Lei, saying from a high position, "Jiang Lei, you didn't eat all day yesterday. Do you want to go on a hunger strike and commit suicide?" Jiang Lei's head twitched slightly, but he didn't lift it up or speak. He just curled up a bit tighter. "Are you deaf?" The middle-aged woman roared and pulled up Jiang Lei's hair. Jiang Lei's thin and beautiful little face immediately tilted up, with a pair of black and white eyes that were pure as water, staring at the middle-aged woman with hatred. Pop pop. The middle-aged woman raised her hand with 2 slaps. 2 bright red palm prints appeared on the girl's clear little face. The woman shouted angrily, "How dare you stare at me? Believe it or not, I will kill you now. If you are sensible, eat the mantu quickly." Jiang Lei's face was burning with pain, but he did not rub his face or eat mantu. He still stared at the middle-aged woman. The woman became angry and raised her hand to strike again, but she thought that in more than 10 days, Han Shichi would take the person away. The beating had damaged her and she couldn't explain it to the 3rd elder, so she could only restrain her anger and withdraw her hand. The woman stood up and paced back and forth. The more she thought about it, the more upset she became. She threw the bowl onto the ground, and Mantu rolled to the ground. After a moment, she suddenly remembered something and pointed at the girl with a sly smile, saying, "You don't want to eat, do you? All right, I'll go report to the third elder and kill your brother alive. Anyway, your siblings are all despicable beings who will not hesitate to die." After speaking, the woman turned around and walked outside. Jiang Li's petite body trembled, and a look of panic appeared on her face. She quickly shouted, "I'll eat, can't I eat?" As he said this, the river carp climbed over, picked up the dusty mantu on the ground and ate it, looking at the woman with tearful eyes. "Don't hit my brother, I listen to you. I'm married, I'm not married yet. If I had been so obedient earlier, it wouldn't have been over." The middle-aged woman snorted coldly and said, "Toast, don't eat, fine wine, little bastard, bah." Jiang Han was completely unaware of the suffering suffered by Jiang Li. Last night I slept in a dilapidated temple again, and he had already gone up the mountain early in the morning. Like yesterday, Jiang Han searched for the roots of some brown plants and set traps in areas where the phantom mouse often appears. The roots of this brown plant are different from those of tianxiang fruit. They do not have a strange aroma and cannot spread with the wind. The trapping process is somewhat difficult, and Jiang Han can only calm down and patiently wait. Fortunately, there were many phantom mice on this mountain peak. After waiting for a whole morning, Jiang Han hunted down 3 more, and the pattern color of the phantom mice on the heavenly beast cauldron gradually deepened. He began to look forward to it in his heart, not knowing what bloodline divine power he could obtain by refining 10 drops of the essence of the phantom mouse. Time continued to pass, and as the sun was about to set, Jiang Han finally hunted and killed enough 10 phantom rats. Refining. Holding the last drop of phantom mouse essence in his hand, Jiang Han's eyes were hot, and his whole body became excited. Closing his eyes, he immediately imagined the heavenly beast cauldron. As before, the heavenly beast cauldron emitted a golden light of 10,000 zhang, and a lifelike phantom mouse flew out of the wall of the cauldron, transforming into green smoke and merging into Jiang Han's soul. At the same time, a strange energy swept through the entire body of the cauldron. After a moment, Jiang Han opened his eyes, with a bright expression in his eyes. He let out a deep cry, "Transform your form in shadow." Buzz. His body trembled slightly, and then he appeared 10 feet away. What was even more shocking was that there was a Jiang Han standing where he had originally stood. However, after a while, Jiang Han's figure standing in place gradually became void and slowly dissipated. This. Jiang Han watched as the other self slowly disappeared, dumbfounded. He originally thought that this shape-shifting supernatural ability, but its speed suddenly soared and it moved in an instant. However, he did not expect that there were still remnants left in place, and these remnants could support a breath of time. The world is vast, and there are indeed all kinds of wonders. Jiang Han sighed for a long time, but his heart became even more agitated. This divine power may not be useful when encountering a strong person, because the distance of movement is limited. The strong person can instantly react and kill him, but when encountering a warrior with similar strength, the effect is too great. Go back. Jiang Han didn't stay much and quickly ran down the mountain carrying the black iron beast cage. Sure enough, the divine powers of this world are the main means for warriors to confront enemies. What kind of weak and explosive mysterious skills are they? As Jiang Han walked, he pondered silently. Different supernatural powers possessed various incredible abilities, but he was still a weaker one. If it were a powerful divine power, wouldn't it be possible to raise your hand and cause a sky-shattering and earth-shattering? It seems that it is not a rumor that the legendary powerful monster can blow to the death of 3 elders in one breath. There are many martial artists in the Kyushu continent, and the strong are like clouds. The strong who can truly intimidate the four directions not only have extremely high cultivation levels, but also extremely powerful divine powers. There is a realm in the air, without supernatural powers, it is just a castle in the air, it is not useful to see. Soon, Jiang Han descended the mountain. When he arrived at the foot of the mountain, he hesitated for a moment and decided to return to the previous dilapidated temple for the night. That dilapidated temple is rarely visited and can also provide shelter from wind and rain, allowing for a relatively peaceful sleep. He ate some dry food casually on the road, and by the time he arrived at the dilapidated temple, the sky had completely darkened. There is no wind tonight, the air is stuffy and hot, which is a sign of heavy rain in the future. Jiang Han felt secretly grateful that if he stayed overnight elsewhere, he might be drenched in soup. No. Just as he approached the dilapidated temple, Jiang Han immediately stopped at his feet. His eyes suddenly turned cold, and he threw the black iron beast cage aside. He drew his sword from behind and looked at the dilapidated temple, shouting, "Who? Come out." Humph. A cold snort sounded, and then the two of them walked out of the dilapidated temple. At the same time, two figures flashed behind Jiang Han, surrounding him and sealing off all the routes he had escaped. Jiang Xiong, Jiang Scorpion, Jiang Snake, Jiang Monkey. Jiang Han scanned around and recognized the four people. The three elders Jiang Xiaotian and his family are thriving, with 6 brothers and a second generation of 17 men. The 4 people who came today are all cousins of Jiang Longjiang Tiger. Jiang Xiong has the strongest combat power, with the purple mansion having 7 levels. The other 3 have 2 purple mansions with 6 levels and 1 purple mansion with 5 levels. Jiang Han, you are indeed here. Jiang Xiong was tall and burly, with a beard all over his face. He said coldly, "To be honest, where did Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao go?" Jiang Xiong and his companions searched the mountain for 2 days and even went to the gambling house in Dujia town, but did not see the figure of Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao. They had originally decided to give up the search and planned to go back and report to the third elder, and mobilize more manpower to search around tomorrow. As they descended the mountain, Jiang Shi remembered that there was a dilapidated temple here, so a few people came here to try their luck and found leftover dry food residue. They decided to wait here, but didn't expect to really wait for Jiang Han. After searching for 2 consecutive days and running through countless mountains, they were exhausted and found nothing. Now that they have finally found Jiang Han, they are slightly excited. Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao have never been to the gambling house in Dujia town. They are going to pursue Jiang Han. Now that the 2 of them are mysteriously missing, they naturally believe that it is closely related to Jiang Han. They haven't found the body of Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao. Jiang Han felt a little uneasy in his heart. He quietly clenched his sword in his hand and said expressionlessly, "How do I know where they went? I haven't seen them yet." Fart. Jiang Xiong angrily said, "The 2 of them went to track you, but now they suddenly disappeared. You dare not go back to town for the night these past few days. It's obvious that you're being a thief. Don't say that, right? No wonder we're being impolite. Jiang Han, give you one last chance." Jiang Sharon, as his name suggests, exudes a cold and sinister aura all over his body. He slowly approached Jiang Han with his long sword and sneered, "If we don't say anything more, we'll have to break your tendons and bring you back to the Elders' Hall for my third uncle to interrogate." Chapter 6. He is a ghost. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 7. Tiger Father Without Dog Son. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Han was determined to pursue, but his speed gradually slowed down. The power of madness can only last for a stick of incense, and after a stick of incense, his body felt weak and he had to stop. Looking at Jiang Ho's blurred and distant figure, Jiang Han's face couldn't help but become very ugly. Run away and the situation will be completely exposed. He didn't have any burden in his heart to kill the 3 Jiang Xiong people. From the moment he killed Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao, he stood in opposition to the 3 elders and even the entire Jiang family. Now is just the beginning, and there will be countless fierce battles ahead. Any kind heart is soft, and the only thing waiting for him is eternal disaster. Let's go. After resting for a moment, he decisively turned around and ran towards the distance. He knew that the strong members of his tribe would soon come over and could not continue to stay here for a long time. The current plan must first find a safe place to hide, evade pursuit, and then find ways to enhance combat effectiveness. The 2 divine powers of berserk power and shape-shifting have greatly increased his combat power. But he was well aware that with his current combat power, he would encounter 2 or 3 high-ranking purple mansions and still have a chance to ambush and kill them. If encountering 7 or 8 high-ranking enemies from the purple mansion, he will definitely die. When encountering the Xianyu realm, he is likely to be instantly killed with just one move. Boom boom. The sky was filled with lightning and thunder, and soon pouring rain poured down. Jiang Han ran wildly in the rainy night, and the rain wet his hair and clothes, making him look extremely disheveled, like a homeless stray dog. After Jiang Ho returned, Jiang Long quickly led a team of people and horses straight to the dilapidated temple. After the bodies of Jiang Xiong, Jiang Scorpion, and Jiang Snake were brought back to the Jiang family ancestral hall, the entire Jiang family was in a state of chaos, and the inside and outside of the temple were crowded with people. Several women held on to the bodies of Jiang Xiong and others, wailing loudly, with curses and screams echoing one after another. The 3 elders are here. A loud shout rang out, and the noise in the ancestral hall came to an abrupt end. The crowd outside separated, and Jiang Xiaotian, with a face as heavy as water, walked in. As soon as he entered, the women who were kneeling on the ground and crying loudly surrounded him, pleading with Jiang Xiaotian to avenge Jiang Xiong and others. Be quiet, everyone. Jiang Xiaotian let out a loud roar, and the ancestral hall quieted down again. Jiang Xiaotian examined the bodies of Jiang Xiong and others, then turned his gaze to Jiang Monkey and said with a stern tone, Jiang Han has 5 levels of the Purple Mansion realm. How can he kill Jiang Xiong and his 3 companions? To be more careful, don't miss a single detail. Jiang Ho was given a fierce glance by Jiang Xiaotian, and his body trembled for a moment before beginning to tell the story. He changed some words and said that Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao were missing. They went to search and found that Jiang Han's whereabouts were strange. So the 4 of them asked Jiang Han if he had seen Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao. Unexpectedly, Jiang Han's words did not comply with the rules of killing. If it weren't for his fast running, he would have been killed. Jiang Han's 2 supernatural powers have been described by Jiang Monkey as demonic and demonic techniques, especially the ability to transform forms and shadows, which is both mysterious and profound. After listening, there was a dead silence in the ancestral hall, and countless members of the Jiang family looked at each other. The older members had a thought in their minds. Could it be that the Jiang family once again had a peerless genius? Back then, Jiang Han's father, Jiang Henshui, also rose up like today's Jiang Han, with soaring combat power and overwhelming his peers. No young generation within 100 miles dared to compete with him. Tiger father has no dog son. Although Jiang Monkey slandered Jiang Han for practicing magic and demonic techniques, many members of his tribe did not agree. Magic skills and demonic techniques only exist in legends, which are the techniques practiced by the demon and demon tribes. How can the human race cultivate them? Jiang Han's combat power suddenly surged, and many people naturally associated it with Jiang Henshui, thinking that it should be the unique skill that Jiang Henshui left for him. Can its power be 9 times greater than that of the Purple Mansion realm? Can it still teleport? Leave a shadow in place? Is it a bloodline divine power? Jiang Xiaotian murmured in a low voice, his face constantly changing, and a hint of thick fear flashed deep in his eyes. He also remembered Jiang Han, the man who had suffocated him and his entire clan. Jiang Han has gone missing, and his son, like him, is just as eerie. He suddenly rises and his combat power soars. Faced with 4 warriors with higher levels than him, he effortlessly swept across. Jiang Han is only 16 years old. If given a few more years, he may become the second Jiang Han. And he found that Jiang Han was even more ruthless than his father. Jiang Han had many conflicts with their lineage back then, but Jiang Han never killed anyone, and at most, he was seriously injured. The injury on his face was left by Jiang Han. Jiang Han, however, was different. He killed 3 of them with just one move. Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao still live or die, and it is very likely that they were also killed by him. If Jiang Han were to grow up, their lineage would probably be completely annihilated. A deep sense of fear surged from Jiang Xiaotian's heart, and there was a hint of malice in his eyes. Without any hesitation, he shouted loudly, Jiang Han practiced magic skills, slaughtered his fellow tribe, and the sin is unforgivable. Jiang Long and Jiang Lion, you each led a team of hunting teams to set off immediately. When you encountered Jiang Han, you directly killed him and brought the body back to expose the corpse for 10 days, following the righteous clan law. Here. Jiang Long and a middle-aged man clasped their fists and took orders. Jiang Long couldn't hold back any longer. With a command from Jiang Xiaotian, he immediately rushed out and began to gather people and horses to pursue Jiang Han. In addition to the Elders' Hall, the Jiang family also has a hunting team, divided into 4 small teams, with a total of 60 people. The members of the hunting team are all elites in the clan, with each team consisting of 15 members. The lowest level is the 7th level in the Purple Mansion realm, while the team leader is the 9th level in the Purple Mansion realm. 2 teams of 30 people, with 30 skilled soldiers from Purple Mansion and above, chased after Jiang Han. Jiang Xiaotian was determined to kill Jiang Han this time. Old 6. After Jiang Long and others left, Jiang Xiaotian ordered again, let someone draw some portraits of Jiang Han. Tomorrow, take someone to post notices in Dujia Town, Guanjia Town, Wangjia Town, and other places. Just say that Jiang Han has betrayed our tribe, and who dares to hide will be the enemy of our Jiang clan. If you provide clues, our clan will reward 100 xianqi. If you can kill Jiang Han, we will reward 500 xianqi. Here. Another Jiang clan member was ordered to leave, and some Jiang clan members inside and outside the temple sighed secretly upon hearing Jiang Xiaotian's words. Jiang Xiaotian's move is too ruthless. Once this reward notice is posted, Jiang Han will have no hiding place for hundreds of miles. 500 xianqi are not a small number, and many martial artists from nearby families may be moved by the wind. Also, escort Jiang Li to the backyard of the Elders' Hall and take strict care of him. Jiang Xiaotian thought for a moment and said to the middle-aged woman who was guarding Jiang Li, in the next few days, you will eat and live with Jiang Li day and night. You cannot let her have any problems, otherwise you will be the only one asking. Jiang Li is Jiang Han's only bond, and Jiang Xiaotian is afraid that Jiang Han will sneak into Jiangjia town and take Jiang Li away. Now Jiang Long is going out to pursue Jiang Han. He is not confident that others will take care of him, so he decided to take Jiang Li to the backyard of the Elders' Hall. If Jiang Han wants to take Jiang Li away, he must pass through this hurdle. All right. Jiang Xiaotian's gaze once again turned to the corpses of Jiang Xiong and others on the ground, shaking his head and sighing. First, use a good coffin to collect their corpses. Don't rush to bury them. After bringing Jiang Han's corpses back, use Jiang Han's human head to worship their souls before burying them heavily. Chapter 8. Moving at the Wind. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 30 members of the Jiang family's hunting team, led by Jiang Long and Jiang Shi, braved the rain and left Jiangjia town to search for Jiang Han everywhere. They were not in a hurry to enter the mountain, after all, the Tianhu Mountains at night were very dangerous. They believed that Jiang Han did not have the courage to risk being surrounded by countless monsters and spend the night in the mountains. They searched around the broken temple as the center, and Jiang Long and Jiang Shi divided their subordinates into 3 groups, carrying signal flares to search separately. Once they encountered Jiang Han, they immediately released the signal flares, and the rest of them would quickly provide support. The rainstorm lasted all night, and Jiang Long, Jiang Shi and others searched all night, but nothing was found. The rainstorm washed away the traces of Jiang Han, and the visibility at night was very poor, so they could not find any traces of Jiang Han. On the second day, notices with portraits of Jiang Han were gradually posted in all nearby villages and towns. As soon as this notice was posted, all the major families around were boiling. Many martial artists from different families are indeed inspired by the news. 500 xianxia are not a small amount, and you can purchase a good xuanwu or a few high-quality pills. The most important thing is that the notice says that Jiang Han only has the purple mansion's 5 elements, but he has some strange magic skills when practicing magic skills. This makes many people very tempted. A purple mansion is just a 5-fold game. Even with some small skills, how strong can it be? You should know that hunting a powerful second-order monster cannot sell 500 xianxia. Jiang Han is more valuable than second-level monsters. For a moment, there were warriors everywhere in the wilderness, the outskirts of the Tianhu Mountains, and some easy-to-hide places. The nearby villages and towns were conservatively estimated to have hundreds of people searching for Jiang Han. Half a day later, explosive news spread one after another, and Jiang Han unexpectedly killed 5 members of the Jiang family. Most importantly, his father was actually Jiang Henshui. Who is Jiang Henshui? That is the existence of a whole generation of families in the vicinity. If Jiang Henshui does not disappear, he may have become a high-level official of Yunmeng Pavilion, and even an elder of Yunmeng Pavilion. But how could Jiang Henshui's son be so tiger like that? How dare you slaughter your fellow race? Jiang Shaotian is also a tiger, and he decisively issued a must-kill order. He's not afraid that Jiang Henshui hasn't died. When the time comes, return to Jiangjia town and unload him in pieces. The gambling house in the town has already opened the market, betting that Jiang Han can sustain it for a few days. However, the odds generally lean towards Jiang Han dying within 3 days. Of course, if Jiang Han can persist for half a month without dying, the odds can reach as high as 1 to 100. No one is optimistic about Jiang Han, even if he is the son of Jiang Henshui. The Jiang family dispatched 30 warriors, along with hundreds of other warriors, to participate in the search. Jiang Han's ability to hide for 3 days is already the limit. Just what surprised countless people happened. After so many people searched for a whole day, the body of Jiang Hu and Jiang Bao was found, but Jiang Han seemed to have evaporated from the human world and disappeared. The terrain near Jiangjia town is actually very unique, like a huge valley surrounded by mountains on 3 sides. Dozens of villages and towns within the influence of Yunmeng are actually surrounded by the Tianhu Mountains. If Jiang Han wants to escape this area, there are only 2 ways to go. One is to cross dozens of villages and towns from the only valley mouth, and the other is to enter the Tianhu Mountains and cross the Tianhu Mountains to reach the territory of other major powers. The first road is obviously impossible. Jiang Han wants to quietly cross so many villages and towns, it will take at least 2 days, and it is impossible to achieve it. The second road is even more difficult. To cross the Tianhu Mountains, one needs to cross several high mountains, which are covered with 2nd and 3rd level monsters. With Jiang Han's strength, entering will undoubtedly result in death. So Jiang Han must have hidden it, only knowing that he didn't know which corner the cat was in. Hold on, Xiao Jiang Han. In many casinos, some gamblers silently pray to Jiang Han. They all buy Jiang Han to persist for more than 3 days, and some even buy Jiang Han to persist for half a month. The longer Jiang Han persists, the more they earn. Jiang Han did not walk far, nor could he, because Jiangli is still in Jiangjia town. He hid in a place that nobody knew about, only he and Jiangli knew about. This place is located near Jiangjia town, only 7 or 8 miles away from the town. He is hiding in a cave behind a small waterfall, which he accidentally discovered a few years ago while playing here with Jiangli. Jiang Han is not foolish, on the contrary, he is also very clever. He knows that the death of Jiang Hu and the others will make Jiang Shaotian extremely angry. The Jiang family would definitely send someone to pursue him, but he just didn't expect Jiang Shaotian to announce a bounty, which led to the participation of warriors from nearby villages and towns in his search operation. At this moment, Jiang Hanwo is sitting in a small cave behind the waterfall, practicing. There were several bottles and jars beside him, all of which were obtained from Jiang Hu, Jiang Xiong, and others. There are healing medicines, pills to assist in cultivation, and even there is a bottle of medicine used to boost mood in the room. Jiang Han originally intended to hide here for a day or two, but after sorting out his harvest, he decided to stay in seclusion for 4 days. Anyway, he carried a lot of dry food with him, so he didn't have to worry about food and drink. Han Shichi still has 12 days left, he still has time. He knew that he only had one chance to take Jiangli away, so he couldn't easily venture into danger and had to plan carefully. Since their parents went missing, Jiang Han and his sister have become helpless, and their daily needs have been a problem. It's hard to even think about using pills to cultivate. Jiang Hu and his companions were backed by a big tree, not worried about food and clothing. They actually had 5 bottles of elixirs on their bodies. Originally, Jiang Han had already reached the level of Purple Mansion 5 for some time. With the assistance of these pills, he believes that breaking through the 6 layers of the Purple Mansion is not a big problem, so his chances of rescuing Jiangli will be greater. The cultivation systems of the human race in the land of Kyushu are not much different. They all open up the 9 major secrets within the body. Every time a secret is opened, it is equivalent to breaking through a great realm. Purple Mansion, Xianyu, Shanhai, Reincarnation, Heaven and Man, Breaking Void, Birth Immortal, Divine Presence, Immortal. After opening up the treasure trove, warriors need to build a 9-tiered altar inside it, which can make the treasure more stable and accumulate a large amount of mystical power, making their bodies stronger and possessing super strong combat power. Each construction of a shrine represents a breakthrough in a small realm. Jiang Han opened up the secrets of the Purple Mansion and built a 5-tiered altar. He now needs to cultivate his mystical power and build a 6th-tiered altar. Once successfully built, he will reach the 6th level of the Purple Mansion. One pill after another was refined, and the mysterious power in Jiang Han's body gradually increased. On top of a 5-tiered altar in the secret collection of Jiang Han's Purple Mansion, the 6th-level altar began to be slowly constructed. Time flies by so fast. 3 days have passed in a blink of an eye, and Jiang Han has not taken a step out of this cave. During this period, someone passed by nearby, but just casually glanced at the waterfall and hurriedly left. At some point, Jiang Han's eyes suddenly opened, with a bright light shining in his eyes and a smile on his face. After 3 days and 3 nights of hard work, coupled with refining 5 bottles of elixirs, Jiang Han finally built another layer of altar and broke through to the 6th level of the Purple Mansion. Go out tonight. Jiang Han estimated that it had been 3 days and the search efforts should have weakened significantly. It was time to enter the mountains again. He is going to hunt and kill the 3rd monster on the heavenly beast Ding. The Earth Dragon Beast. Chapter 9. People don't offend me. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 3 first-order demon beasts on the heavenly beast cauldron are now only the Earth Dragon Beast left. Jiang Han is not very familiar with this kind of monster, he has only seen it from afar once. Not only him, but also the warriors from nearby villages and towns rarely hunt down earth dragon beasts, because these monsters lurk underground for a long time and suddenly attack their prey, which is extremely dangerous. Jiang Han adjusted his body and mind to the peak and began to take action after dark. Taking advantage of the darkness, he cautiously headed towards the Tianhu mountain range. Whenever there was any wind or grass on the road, he would stop and observe carefully, ensuring safety before continuing forward. More than an hour later, he arrived at the foot of the Tianhu Mountains, but did not choose to enter. Instead, he found an ancient tree at the foot of the mountain and climbed up, using vines to tie his body and rest. Just after dawn, Jiang Han woke up and carefully observed for half a day before cautiously heading to the seventh peak, the Double Camel Peak. He was very cautious along the way, and once he found any monsters, he would immediately avoid them without leaving any traces. He cannot reveal his whereabouts until he obtains the third bloodline divine power by hunting 10 earth dragon beasts. Having arrived at the Double Camel Peak without any danger, Jiang Han began to search for the earth dragon beast. Unfortunately, this kind of monster hides underground all year round, and after searching for an hour, there is no harvest. Instead, it encounters two other first-order monster beasts. He can only choose to go to the 8th peak. After entering the 8th peak for a moment, the ground in front of him suddenly exploded, and a giant beast resembling a crocodile with black scales shot out from the ground, biting him fiercely with a bloody mouth. Earth Dragon Beast. Jiang Han maintained a high level of vigilance, not surprised but happy at the sight. He immediately exerted the power of shifting form and changing shadow, and his body instantly appeared behind the Earth Dragon Beast. He activated his berserk power and slashed the neck of the Earth Dragon Beast heavily. Bang! The Earth Dragon Beast was directly blasted out by the violent force, with a deep groove in its neck, and yellow blood slowly flowing out. Surprisingly, it did not die, but rolled on the ground twice, with red light shining on its claws, about to burrow into the ground. Shoo! How could a cooked duck make it fly? Jiang Han quickly swept away, grabbed the tail of the Earth Dragon Beast with one hand and pulled it hard, throwing it up and chopping out the long sword again. Boom! This time, the Earth Dragon Beast failed to hold on and fell to the ground, convulsing for a moment before dying. Okay. Jiang Han was overjoyed and finally hunted down the first Earth Dragon Beast. Quickly break through the inner alchemy of the Earth Spirit Beast, refine the essence and blood of the Earth Dragon Beast, and Jiang Han throws the body of the Earth Dragon Beast into a nearby small mountain ditch. Next, Jiang Han searched the entire 8th peak and only found 3 Earth Dragon Beasts. After recovering his strength, Jiang Han could only run towards the 9th peak. Fortunately, at the 9th peak, he unexpectedly encountered a large number of Earth Dragon Beasts again. As it was getting dark, he had already hunted down 7 Earth Dragon Beasts. Tomorrow should be around. Jiang Han looked at the sky and decided to go down the mountain. He did not plan to return to the cave behind the waterfall for the night, but he also dared not stay overnight on the mountain. Because many monsters like to lurk during the day and move out at night. He is planning to go to the foot of the mountain to find a big tree to make do for the night. It will be much safer at the foot of the mountain, even if there are monsters, they are very low level and not very dangerous. It was getting dark on the celestial horse, and he estimated that the searchers should have gone down the mountain long ago, so he quickly ran towards the foot of the mountain. Hoo! As he reached the 2nd peak, a deep shout suddenly came from ahead, and Jiang Han's gaze swept away like lightning. 2 people happened to emerge from the bushes over there. Through the hazy moonlight, he could vaguely see the 2 of them, and couldn't help but sink in his heart. He knew them as members of the Jiang family. Jiang Han. One person started drinking wildly, with a look of ecstasy on their face, and rushed towards Jiang Han. The other person did not rush forward, but quickly took out a bamboo tube and suddenly pulled off the lid. A beam of light rose up in mid-air, illuminating half of the sky. It's broken. Jiang Han's mood sank to the bottom of the valley, and it was estimated that the Jiang clan members who were searching nearby would soon be chasing him. One bad thing is that tonight is the day he will be buried. Shoo! Jiang Han saw that the people rushing up were not from the same clan as Jiang Shaotian, and shouted, "They are from the same clan. I don't want to kill you, don't force me." Forcing you. The person's mouth curved into a grim smile and said coldly, "You are practicing magic skills and slaughtering your fellow tribe. Your sins are unforgivable. The 3 elders have ordered you to be removed from the family tree. From today on, you are no longer a member of our Jiang family. You are our mortal enemy of the Jiang family. Go to hell." The long sword pierced through the air, piercing through the cold river with a sharp whistling sound. Jiang Han stopped talking nonsense. Since the Jiang family treats him as a mortal enemy, what else is there to say? Buzz. As the long sword was about to strike Jiang Han, his body lit up with a faint light, and he immediately used the power of transformation and transformation. His figure appeared behind the person, leaving behind his remnants in place. The person didn't know that Jiang Han had arrived behind him. Jiang Han's long sword was unsheathed, and a cold light lit up. The person's head flew into the sky and he died directly. Ah! The person behind had just released the signal flare and rushed forward with a spear. They happened to see the scene of Jiang Han killing the person in front of them, and their whole body trembled with fear. Just as he was hesitating whether to fight or flee, Jiang Han turned around and rushed towards him with his body. Escape. Looking at Jiang Han's cold, beast-like eyes, this person was frightened and turned around to run away. Just in the next moment, a figure flashed out in front of him. Bang! He was cut to pieces in the head by Jiang Han and died instantly. This way. Hurry up, hurry up. Don't let Jiang Han run away. In the distance, there were roars coming from afar, and Jiang Han could see countless torches converging, like fire dragons weaving a web of heaven and earth, trying to trap and kill him alive. Come on. Jiang Han's murderous intent surged in his eyes, and he shouted sternly, "If people don't offend me, I won't offend. If anyone dares to pursue and kill me Jiang Han, then be prepared to be killed by me. Don't say it's unforeseeable." Chapter 10. Fragmented Corpse in 10,000 Sections. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jiang Han roared loudly on the mountain, his voice spreading throughout the fields. When the Jiang family rushed over quickly, Jiang Han was nowhere to be seen at first sight of the 2 killed Jiang family members. Seeing the tragic deaths of the 2 people, everyone looked at each other. Those who dare to pursue Jiang Han have strong combat experience, and they can tell at a glance that both of them were killed by a single blow. What does this mean? This indicates that Jiang Han's combat power far surpasses these 2 people. These 2 people are both the 7th level of the Purple Mansion, but were instantly killed by Jiang Han's move. Is it possible that Jiang Han's combat power has reached the 9th level of the Purple Mansion? Chase. Jiang Long, who is as thin as a bamboo pole, has been searching the world with people these days, but has found nothing, holding back his anger. Now, after finally discovering Jiang Han's trace, he was killed by Jiang Han again, and his heart was filled with boundless killing intent. He didn't say a word and quickly rushed towards the mountaintop. The others exchanged a few glances, leaving the 2 to handle the body, while the rest followed Jiang Long in pursuit. The Tianhu mountain range at night is very dangerous, especially when so many people act together. It is more likely to attract attacks from monsters, but they can no longer care about it. At this moment, Jiang Han was running rapidly, his brain running rapidly, pondering how to avoid pursuit. Although his realm has reached the 6th level of the Purple Mansion, it is still too slow for Jiang Long, the 9th level of the Purple Mansion. Although the vision is not good at night, being caught up is still a matter of time. Once caught up, he will undoubtedly die. Got it. Jiang Han pondered for a long time and finally had an idea in his heart. He remembered that there was a group of blue magic wolves on the third peak. These wolves came out less during the day, but were exceptionally active at night. He will lead the group of pursuers behind him, and he will definitely startle the demon wolf pack. Quickly, Jiang Han passed the second peak and headed straight for the third peak. He could vaguely hear the heavy footsteps behind him, clearly the enemy was not far away from him. He frantically used his mystical power, increased his speed once again, and let out a long roar. Jiang Han is crazy. The Jiang family members who were chasing after him heard Jiang Han's roar, and many people became suspicious. Is Jiang Han afraid that they won't be able to catch up with him? Dare to make a whistling sound. You can't run away. Be obedient and die. After everyone rushed to the third peak, they finally saw the figure of Jiang Han in the distance. Jiang Long's eyes were full of killing intent and he roared angrily, Jiang Han, today I will definitely cut you 1,000 pieces. Ow! Ahem! At this moment, there were loud roars not far away, one after another, incessant. The faces of the Jiang family all changed greatly, and someone shouted, Jiang Han's howling just now was to attract the demon wolf. There are hundreds of blue magic wolves on the third peak, as everyone in the Jiang family knows. Now the demon wolf pack has been alarmed, and it is estimated that there are at least nearly 100 of them. Once they are entangled, they will be in big trouble. Jiang Long. Someone said, let's go up the mountain again tomorrow to pursue, it's too dangerous. That's right. The other person agreed, anyway, where can Jiang Han run in the mountains? We'll guard a few intersections at the foot of the mountain tonight, he can't escape. If you're afraid, get out of here quickly. Jiang Long's face was grim and he roared, I'll kill him tonight, I'll kill him. After several days of searching, Jiang Han's figure was not found. Finally, he was found, and he was within reach. How could Jiang Long be willing to give up? His purple mansion has 9 levels, and even if it attracts dozens of demon wolves, he has confidence in taking down Jiang Han and retreating with his whole body. Then keep chasing. Seeing Jiang Long's uncompromising expression, the others exchanged a glance and could only grit their teeth to continue chasing fiercely. However, after chasing for a few breaths, they found that a black shadow ahead was actually charging towards them. Upon closer inspection, it was clearly Jiang Han. Behind Jiang Han were a group of demon wolves with a body like a cow, their eyes sparkling with penetrating green light. Death. Jiang Long completely ignored the roaring giant wolf from behind, his long sword instantly unsheathed, his body like lightning, and he charged towards Jiang Han with endless killing intent. Shoo! A faint light shone on the surface of Jiang Han's body, and Jiang Long's long sword easily pierced through his remaining figure, while Jiang Han's body appeared 1 zhang away on the left. Jiang Long and the others were slightly stunned. Before they could pursue Jiang Han again, a roar sounded ahead, and the pack of demon wolves had already roared and rushed towards them, intending to drown them. Get lost. Jiang Long let out a roar and stabbed a demon wolf to death with just 1 sword. There were just too many magic wolves, and his figure was quickly engulfed by the pack of magic wolves. Shoo! Jiang Han used his teleportation and transformation skills twice in a row, and his figure instantly appeared several meters away. Jiang Long and others were surrounded by a pack of demon wolves, and he actually had a chance to sneak attack and kill a few people. Jiang Han did not take any risks. The duration of his berserk power divine power is about to expire. Once his weakness period arrives, even if he is not killed by the Jiang family, he will still die at the mouth of the demon wolf. Let's go. More and more people will surely come to support him in the future, but Jiang Han dare not stay any longer. A few of them dodged and disappeared into the vast mountains in the darkness. He can't go to the foot of the mountain, he can only risk staying overnight in the mountains. Not only tonight, but also for the next few days and nights, he can only stay in the mountains. The Jiang family's hunting team will definitely set up defenses at the foot of the mountain and will not give him the opportunity to sneak down the mountain. Does the fifth peak seem to have a small cave? Jiang Han remembered something, hesitated for a moment, and quickly moved forward with a clear direction. Step back, quickly step back down the mountain. There is still a bloody battle here, and Jiang Long has finally calmed down. Jiang Han has already escaped, but the demon wolf is killing more and more. Several people on the hunting team have already been injured, and he dare not continue to entangle. He can only lead people and fight and retreat. A moment later, members of the hunting team came to support, and together they repelled the wolf pack and quickly descended the mountain. Set up defenses. As soon as he arrived at the foot of the mountain, Jiang Long ordered, block all the roads leading down the mountain and not give Jiang Han a chance to escape. In addition, spread the news of Jiang Han's presence here and let nearby family warriors come to surround and kill him. Tomorrow morning, we will search the mountain and not break Jiang Han's body into pieces. I swear not to be a human.